At South Mountain Ranch, it's auction season. But there's trouble in the air. The BLM wants to reduce grazing allotments on 68 permits in Owyhee County. At this bull auction, they're raising money to appeal the BLM's new grazing plan. Rancher Tim Lowry.
The Ducket boys are going to donate part of it to the Idaho Cattlemen's Association and half of it to the Heritage Fund of the Owyhee Cattlemen's Association to be used for legal expenses on this Owyhee 68 permit renewal litigation that's occurring.
The Owyhee 68 refers to the 68 grazing permits that stretched out over more than 100,000 acres in Owyhee County and affects just about every rancher here at the cell, according to Wyatt Prescott of the Idaho Cattle Association.
Well, essentially the BLM, in renewing those permits, 68 permits, 120 allotments, they essentially reduced utilization numbers by 30 to 50%, changed season of use, which basically crippled them down to over 70% cuts on many of the permits. And they did it in the name of sage grouse, even though they used quite a bit of faulty science in terms of making those determinations. They had an adverse rangeland health assessment that says grazing wasn't even the causal factor, yet the only changes they made were reducing grazing.
The BLM announced the new allotments late in the fall, and as ranchers gear up for the 2014 season, many know that they have just a couple of years in the expensive appeal process.
It's a huge, very expensive legal undertaking, and we're going to need all we can get raised before it's all said and done. These lawsuits will stretch out.
At the auction, the South Mountain heifer donated by the Duckets was sold 3 times and brought in more than $13,000. But with the massive legal challenges ahead, it could take millions. Ask rancher Paul Nettleton of Murphy. He fought the BLM for 10 years over a water permit and won.
And
yeah, I think you can beat the BLM and win. They'll try to break you, but you know, we've still got a pretty good, as you know, a pretty good attorney bill still pending against us. But you know, you can beat the BLM. And it takes a lot of money, and that's why we're here today and why we're here, you know, fighting this thing.
So, what would you say to the doubters?
Stay with it.
And what would you say to the BLM?
I don't think you want to hear that.
For the Voice of Idaho Agriculture, this is Jake Putnam and Steve Ritter reporting.